And just gently take yourself down on your back. Bend the knees up and take the feet wide on the mat. Drop the knees towards each other. Rest the back of the head down. Roll the shoulders, nestling right down into the mat. And just take your arms out by the sides. We're just going to stay here and connect with your physical body. So just make sure there's no tension in your hips and in your pelvis. Just let the knees fall in towards each other, letting go. Allow your body to breathe itself. Full deep breaths all the way in and out through the nose if possible. We're just not always aware of what our body's doing, and yoga is about becoming present and embodied, connected to the body, the physical sensations, the breath, maybe even the pulsations around the body. And you probably would have noticed that we had a big super pink full moon yesterday. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that. And the full moon takes place because the sun and the moon are opposing each other from the point of view of us here on earth. So the moon and the sun are the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine. And sometimes these are opposing forces, but they can become complementary pairs that unite and support and become greater than the sum of the parts. When we think about the masculine and feminine principles, just for example, when it comes to learning the sun, the solar principle, the masculine principle, it wants to know things for definite. It likes to learn by reading, science, proof, knowledge. But the moon doesn't work like this. It can't really, some things can't be learned. You have to learn to feel them. You have to really grasp an understanding. And to do that, sometimes we have to shut off the busy conscious brain and spend time with the quiet of our own body, connecting to the body, the heart, the breath, allowing our inner vision and our intuition to speak to us. And likewise, when it comes to action, the solar principle is willful. It decides where it's going or what it's doing. It's in control. It does things because it decides it wants to. The feminine principle is more about unconscious, habitual patterns. We do this because we don't even know we're doing it. We just gravitate towards certain actions, certain behaviours, certain traits. And not all of these are positive and constructive. And the solar principle on a journey needs to know before it sets out where its final destination is, how it's going to get there, when it's going to arrive, and what is going to be there when it arrives. And this lunar principle just goes with the flow, enjoys the journey, and allows the journey to unfold. So I thought it would be quite good, maybe just to think about any of these concepts and how they apply to you just at the moment. Is there anything that you're baffled about, that you're trying to make sense of? Reading all the books isn't helping. Maybe you feel like you need to be, or you are on a journey, but you don't know where you're going, and you don't know why. Maybe you need to learn to let go, surrender to the universe and the plan that is there for you. And likewise, maybe you feel that there are some habits that you want to shake off and let go of. So I want you just to put your hand on your heart. Maybe put your left hand on the center of your chest. Just breathe here and see if you can tune into your heart. And set some kind of an intent for this practice. So when we practice yoga, it's a nice experience. We feel good, we've done exercise. Sometimes we've released a lot of stress and tension, but also one of the tenets, as I said, is we want to get a greater understanding of who we are. See if you can connect with the heart. Find that intent, that intention for today. Allow your higher self, your inner consciousness, your inner wisdom to speak to you. If you're not comfortable in this position, you can move to change the position of your legs if you need to. You need to be comfortable.